Hey y'all, it's Tamra. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be making some chicken taco soup. Fall is upon us. The weather has finally cooled down and you know we have to get into these cozy fall recipes. So stay tuned. We're going to be making some soup filled with some delicious rotisserie chicken, corn, black beans. It's so comforting. I'm going to give you the full recipe, ingredients, and it is seasoned to perfection. Let's get into this recipe. Okay, so we have a store-bought rotisserie chicken here. Got it out of the deli department at our local grocery store. And we're literally going to take the skin off of the chicken and we're going to just remove all of the meat from the chicken, add it to our bowl so that we can add it to our chicken taco soup. So I'm just gonna keep the bag that the chicken came in off to the side so that we can put any scraps in it that we don't need. Try to get as much chicken off of the bone that you can. If you want to keep the bones from the chicken, they make a really delicious stock. So you can keep the bone and make a chicken stock with them. You can use the stock in your soup or you can use it for another soup at another time. And I might just do that because it is fall and we might want to make another soup later. I'm actually going to be making a chicken and dumpling later. So I might make a chicken stock to use in the chicken and dumpling. So this is the type of thing that I'm going to be throwing away or using in the chicken stock. I don't need the skin and I don't need the bones. Of course, the chicken breast is going to have the most meat, but we don't really want any skin in our soup. If you don't already know, the skin is going to have a lot of fat to it, so you don't want to have the skin floating around in your soup because it's going to cause the soup to have a lot of fatty components. So try to get rid of the skin part. I love using rotisserie chicken when I'm making chicken soups because it's quick and easy. There's really no need for you to slave in the kitchen, you guys. Make cooking as quick and as simple as possible. I think a lot of people tell themselves that they can't cook. You really can. It's actually easier than you think. Grab yourself a rotisserie chicken from the store. I'll tell you, Costco has a delicious rotisserie chicken for about $5. They make them every single day. Walmart has delicious rotisserie chickens. Grab yourself one. So once you get all of the chicken off of the bone, go ahead and set this aside and we are going to prep our other ingredients. We're gonna set this aside and prep our other ingredients now. So for the seasonings, we are going to just be using some nature seasoning. It's a seasoning blend. It has pretty much everything you want and need in a seasoning. Garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, pepper, salt. It's an OG seasoning. It's my go-to. We're gonna use about 1.5 tablespoons. You have to remember we're gonna be using a lot of water, cream. You need to season your food. This Padilla complete seasoning is another go-to for me. When I'm cooking, it has everything you want and need as well. So we're gonna use about 1 tablespoon of that as well. I like to get my seasonings ready beforehand. We're also going to use taco seasoning. I'm going to start with about 1/2 packet of taco seasoning. You can start with less than that if you want. This is just regular taco seasoning. I'm going to start with 1/2 pack until I taste it and see how it tastes. We have our black beans and we have a whole can of corn, and we are going to chop up an onion, and then that is going to be all we need for our taco soup. We're going to chop up 1/2 of an onion for our soup. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the frozen pre-chopped onions at your grocery store, but those come in clutch. Don't shy away from them. I get them all the time. I get them often. They're in the frozen section where your frozen vegetables are at. They're amazing. So just like that, we diced some onions. This is 1/2 of an onion here. We're gonna put that in our soup, so set that aside. You're gonna grab a large stock pot, turn it to about medium heat. Go ahead and add about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Let your oil heat up for about 2 minutes or so, and then you are going to start by sauteing your diced onions. Just saute the onions until they get nice and soft and translucent for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. We'll say 1 minute to 2 minutes. It doesn't take long. You can also add some bell pepper. If you have some red bell pepper or green bell pepper, you can dice that up and add that in here as well. It'll be super delicious. Anything you have, you can add some diced jalapeno if you want a kick of spice. The great thing about soup, and one of my most favorite things about soup, is you can really add anything you like. It just adds an extra layer of flavor. I really love soup because it's full of flavor, it's comforting, it's filling, it's kind of healthy. This one is semi-healthy. I guess it depends on what you put in it, but we're putting cream cheese, which might take the health factor out of it a little. Okay, now that our onions are nice and soft and translucent, we are going to add in this shredded chicken. This soup is gonna be so delicious and so comforting, you guys. It's perfect now that this weather has started to cool down a little bit. I literally can eat soup all year long, and this is one of those ones that you really can enjoy all year. You don't have to wait until the weather cools down. It's perfect. It's a complete meal. This is how quick this soup goes though. Now that you've added the chicken, you literally just start dumping everything in. Pretty much dump and go soup. So now that we have our chicken and our onions sauteed in our pot, we are gonna go ahead, add your black beans to your pot, drain those black beans really well. Then you're gonna go ahead and add your corn. Now that we have the corn and the black beans, the chicken and the onions in the pot, it's time to add in the cream cheese. We have half a block of cream cheese. Go ahead and add that in. And we're just gonna kind of let that melt down a little bit. And you wanna use room temperature cream cheese. That's pretty important. So just take the cream cheese out of the refrigerator and let it set out on the counter for about 10 to 15 minutes before you start cooking, just so it can soften up a little bit. That helps the cream cheese melt in the pot a lot easier and a lot quicker so that you don't get clumpy cream cheese. It already smells so delicious, you guys. I wish you could smell it. It looks really good too. Now that you have the cream cheese nice and melted and mixed in with your chicken and black beans and corn, go ahead and add in your chicken stock. Be very gentle so that it doesn't splash you. Get that nice and incorporated and mixed in. And this is another reason why you want your cream cheese to be room temperature, so that it can blend in and mix in really nicely with your chicken stock. We're gonna be adding in a lot of seasonings, so go ahead and add a couple cups of water as well. If you want your soup to be really thick, you can omit the water and just add the chicken stock. But we want our soup to be nice and creamy, and it's also gonna thicken up a bit as it cooks. So we have about 4 cups of liquid total. Now we are going to season this bad boy up. It already smells so delicious. We added the cream cheese. It smells amazing already, but now we are going to season this bad boy up. We have some sazon here. If you haven't heard of sazon, you have to get your hands on some and try it. It is so delicious. I'm only gonna put like a teaspoon of it because it's super strong. As you can see, it's already turned the soup like a bright orange color. We have some taco seasoning here. I just bought a package of taco seasoning. I'm only gonna use like half of a package to begin with. This is chicken taco soup, so you can use the whole package if you want to, but I'm gonna start with half a pack. We have about 4 cups of liquid, so you wouldn't be amiss if you use the whole pack. Don't be shy. We have some complete seasoning here and some season all, about a tablespoon of each. Go ahead and add that to your soup. You want to use a lot of seasoning. Don't be shy, okay? So we have all of our seasonings added. Let's go ahead and taste our soup. It is super duper hot, so we gotta blow it. It's already so good. So good, but I'm gonna add more soup. It's taco soup. I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of that taco seasoning. I may end up adding more seasoning salt or season all because I feel like it just needs a touch more. And I think I may add some more cream cheese because I want it a little more cheesier. We'll call it a cheesy chicken taco soup. You can even add like a Oaxaca cheese or a mozzarella cheese. Do as you wish. It is your recipe. Pretty much done at this point. The chicken taco soup is pretty much done. You can eat it just like this. Make yourself a big bowl of soup with some tortilla chips, with some tortillas on the side. Warm up some tortillas. I'll probably end up making my kids cheese quesadillas later tonight and let them eat it just like this with a bowl of soup. To the top, just add a little sprinkle of shredded cheese if you want. For this, we'll add just a little razzle dazzle. We'll add some pico. If you want, add some sour cream. You can add some shredded lettuce. Any toppings that you would add to tacos, you can add to your chicken taco soup. And that will do it, y'all.